What was going on in San Diego when that guy got bit in half by a shark a couple years back? They were training for something.
Yeah, it's funny you remember that. That was May of 2008. I remember that like it was yesterday. So at the time I lived in San Francisco, and this is actually just before I swam the Maui thing. Now that I think about it, that was 10 years ago. I swam the Maui thing in June of June of '08. So I'm doing all my training in a swimming pool up in San Francisco because I don't want to acclimate to very cold water. I actually want to be in warm water. But I needed one long ocean swim of like 14 or 15 miles as my like last training swim. So I came down to San Diego to do it. And just by bad luck, I came down a few days after that guy was killed. Now, this was a guy, I didn't know him, but he was a triathlete training with a triathlon group that they would go out and swim every morning. And I know the beach exactly where it happened, in Solana Beach. And unfortunately, like most people who get attacked by great whites, they always attack the same way, which is below and behind, stealth bite, up, and then they retreat. So they're trying to basically injure the prey, so their prey exsanguinates, and then they take off, and then they wait till you bleed out. So they never saw the shark, but you could tell from the bite marks it was. I actually had a friend who was on the beach and saw him when he came out, and he was basically dead when he got to shore. He had bled to death. The problem is, so in this case, the shark had bit him and cut through his femoral arteries and veins. And the salt water prevents you from having any hemostasis, so it exacerbates the blood loss. So that's generally how folks perish when they're bit by great whites.
How did they get him out of the water?
A bunch of other swimmers came to his rescue, and luckily that commotion prevents the sharks from wanting to come back. So 3 days later, I go out and I'm swimming at that beach because I swam from my training swim was La Jolla up to Solana Beach and back. And I got to tell you, like 3 days after a guy dies where you're swimming, it was about one of the most mentally challenging training swims to be like, because you can't see, like the water at that part of the beach is so murky, and you're only a couple hundred yards offshore that like you can barely see your hands when you're swimming. And so you're just thinking, is this the day?